Hello, this is Tom with Rock Solid. In this video, I will be going over how you're going to manage your carrier accounts going forward. I apologize for the length of this video. I've recorded a couple times. It's going to be about 15-20 minutes. We'll see how much it takes this time. So in this, for most of you, you've been managing your accounts through the Manage Accounts, Manage Credentials features in REMS, where you'd add the account numbers and manage accounts and add all the credentials and manage credentials. Then in the old page, you would select the 3P checkbox, select your account, or DHL, inbound, outbound, you would type in the account numbers. And here then for credentials, you go to the WebShip tab, go to the credential tab, and then assign the credentials for each of the carriers for UPS and FedEx. So that is going away. What we're doing is we're taking all this information, who's assigned to it, and the information, and moving into our provider account management page, which I will be detailing here. And then you'll be able to see the accounts here, what account the name is, not the account number or anything, just the name. And you will be able to assign accounts that you've made available, and I'll go into details shortly on that. So you'll be able to see the information. Also, the add new buttons would let you add a one-off account, like this is only for this one. So it would add it. So first off is provider account management, which will be a menu item that will be under admin, so called provider account management. This is the place where you're going to add your accounts to be used. So all your existing accounts will be in here, by the way. But this is where you'd add new ones or edit ones. In this case, I can click on Add Account. Then I select the carrier, which we have multiple options here. These will vary based on your system and what account or carriers and services you support. So I'm going to do FedEx. And we have the normal stuff where we need the account number, key, password, meter number. The name is just the name, so you will see on the edit customer screen. So I'm going to go Tom Test FedEx. Then you have your account number, the key, the password, and the meter number, which I'm just going to put fake information. Now, subcarrier, for those of you that are aware of what subcarriers are, you can set your subcarrier. For those of you that don't know, subcarriers are used generally when you have multiple accounts. So say I had 2 FedEx accounts, but one account I was using had better ground rate. Well, they're going to each have their own accounts, their own rates. They might be very similar. They could be unique. Like one might better have ground, another one might have better 2-day. For whatever reason, you have multiple accounts and each have unique rate sheets. So by doing a subcarrier, we can load both of them in there because it's FedEx, but you're going to count ABC with these rates and count XYZ with these rates. So by doing it by subcarrier, we can then set load up multiple accounts, and then we can also import multiple rate sheets and set them by subcarrier, which happens in the Manage Tier tool. But if you don't do subcarriers, then just leave it as no subcarrier. But it can be useful for those that have multiple accounts. The next is, so I've got my information in here. The next here is assigned and available. Now, assigned means I'm going to assign this account to a specific account. So, or system. So if I check the system level box, that means I'm making this account on for every customer in the system. If you have a single account and everyone's going to use that account, you could use the system level, and then the context is default, and that lets you save it, and then you just got the one account for all. For almost everyone, you're not going to do that. And instead, you would either assign it, to a specific customer. So I could assign it to TST03. And the context option, in this case, you only see one, so it's we might clean that up, but it's specified, which means it is specifically assigned to this customer. If I hit save and save, Well, it's going to yell at me because the account's already signed, so I can't assign it. But if there wasn't an account signed, I would do that. Available is a different option. What that means is it's very similar to the old manage accounts, manage credentials, where you make it available to a certain franchise group, agency, whatever you call your groupings. And then it's available to be used. It isn't saying it's assigned to it. It's not the active account. It's just like it shows up in the list. So in the old system, when you had the 3P checkbox and the dropdown, this is the same thing. You're adding it to a list you could select from. Doesn't mean it's assigned. It just means it's select or selectable. Whereas if you do assigned, it is, hey, this customer is using this account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add it to the TST02, which is the account I have open, and hit save. Now you'll see that I already have an account here it's signed. So right now this account is assigned to the TST02, whereas this FedEx account is available. It means it's not assigned, it's actually available. And I have a UPS account and a DHL account. So you're able to go in here and do that. You have filters, you can filter on information. I'm filtering on the TST02 account. I can filter on a carrier, a name, and even a partial name. Like if I could type in test, delete it, and I will find every account that says test in the system. So that is very useful in finding accounts. When you name an account, just remember the name. So I'm going to go back to filtering on my O2. So I see all the accounts that's loaded on that one. And that's going to take a second to load. So if we go back here, so we're in carrier setup, and this is where we see the accounts. My Arcis FedEx is my assigned account. Actually, I want to refresh this page because I made a new one available, the one we just added. But it won't refresh until that's finished. So it's going to be a second. There we go. So now that I've got here, I got this FedEx account, and if I click on the drop down, you can see I have other accounts. These are other ones are available, but I'm using this one. But if I want to switch it, like here, if I go ahead and I'm going to change this to this, and if I hit save in the upper right, I've now saved it. So I'm using this account. So if I go back to provider account management, click on the edit, you will see that this account is now assigned. Before, it was only available, but it wasn't assigned. Now it's available. Also, I should say if I make something available, I can just assign it to the TST franchise, agency, group, partnership. And then it's available to every customer under the TST group. Or you can make it available to a single one. It's up to you. So now I told my system that I'm using this account, which with that credentials isn't going to go far, but gives you an idea so you can use that. This next one, FedEx billing. Our system now with this gives you the option to create a shipping account and a third-party billing account. So if we create a account, if I go to add account and go to, and I select FedEx billing, I can create it, give it a name, and I only need the account number when billing third party and subcarrier. And that will allow me to assign a billing account. So that means if I have a customer, like say this TST02, a customer, and I had a billing account, it would book the shipment using this customer information or these credentials, but it would also say, I'm going to bill it third party and give the account information I've selected. I don't have anything selected, so I can't at the moment. But if I were to create an account, make a third party billing, I could then show up here. UPS is the same. You're going to see UPS billing. So you can add UPS accounts, UPS billing. We have different. We have SurePost for UPS. We have FedEx SmartPost, DHL, and DHL e-commerce. So that is made available. Now, a lot of times with DHL, with your customers, you'll have the numbers in here, and each one has their own. So normally up here, it's just going to show you like count ending in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's going to show you both accounts or one account. One thing different is with the provider accounts is we do let you put both together. So if I go back here and if I'm going to add and select DHL, I've got my account number, which is the export, and then inbound is the inbound. So I give it a name and I can assign it. DHL is very good on reseller accounts. They let you create them. They want you to have each customer on their own account. So the idea, and each customer should have a unique account. Doesn't always happen, but they do like that, as they've told us. So you can set those, and they would show up. The add new allows you to add an account specific for this customer. You just add it directly, like it's a one-off. If you're going to add any accounts, they're going to be used by multiple people. I definitely recommend you add it here, add the information, and then assign it to the customer, make it available to whoever needs to have it available, and manage it that way. This would only be if it's like this is only this customer. So instance, if you request a reseller account for this customer, the information comes in, I can click on add new, set the subcarrier, which we've not had at DHL yet, so that's going to be talked about in the upcoming months. But it acts just like subcarriers do on the other systems. We're in the process of moving you off of tiers because they don't need to be there anymore with the way DHL is now doing their rates. So we have account number in here, and you can add it there if it's a one-off for someone. But again, if you're going to be managing more across multiples, it's better to do it in provider account management. So that's the basics of it. A couple things to be aware. Once you are moved over, we do have to take the data that's in the old managed accounts, managed credentials, and we move it into provider account management. So our system has code that says if I have an account in provider account management, I use that. Which means if I were to be able to find and get to the old page, which we are retiring, and I go ahead and I make some changes here and save that, doesn't matter. This is the old way of saving it. The provider account management is the new way. I have an account set up in provider account management. Therefore, it's going to use this. It does not matter. So there might be a link or two that we haven't caught where if you click on it, it brings you up the old page. Just be aware that this information is informational only at this point because it's going to be using all the data was migrated in a provider account management. So no use going to the old page and editing stuff because it's no longer relevant. Now everything else in this the pages, all this information from the address, the base rates, all this stuff is the same data as before. We don't move it, we don't migrate, we don't touch it. It's already saved. We're just displaying it. So that hasn't changed. We're not doing any updates to the data. So if you go to base rates, the information you would see would be exactly the same as you would on the old edit customer. But with the new one, I mean, it's how we're displaying it. It's just a UI update. But we had to make changes in the credentials or in the carrier account management because there were multiple ways to manage it, and we just needed to move everything to one and make it simple and straightforward, which we have. If you agree, let me know. If you don't agree, don't let me know. No, let me know. But we want to know. We want to get your feedback on this. So once you've been told this goes live, we will run a script to migrate all the data over, and then it will be using the new stuff. As you see here, you will have provider account management in the admin. We need to add that to every system, and then you're going forward. Hopefully this made sense. If you have any questions, please reach out to support. I ask that you send a direct email to support. Don't reply to the email with this. When I send out a mass email to everyone, any replies back get batched together in our Zendesk software we used for support. And if I try to reply to it, it just replies to support. It doesn't send it to you. We have ways around it, so we're able to reply. It's just easier if it's a separate email. That way, the whole team can do it and answer any questions you have. But hopefully, this made all sense to you. And again, if you have any questions, let us know. And have a great evening. Talk to you later. Bye.